Um, Probably two main things. The first being my relationship with my ex-wife, and just the difficulties that I have communicating with her and the kind of stress that she causes and all of that. And the second would be my work situation, having been laid off from my job and just wondering what to do next, and just not quite having the confidence or the wherewithal to really do what I truly wanted to do. So I think it was a pretty tough year last year. A lot was going on, but those are the two main things. I think there was a third factor, which is where Jason and I started, which was the tantric practices, and just wanting more guidance with meditation and breath work and things like that. But that was less of a problem and more of just an area of exploration and learning. I think there was definitely a deep sense of frustration of being triggered, and during our conversations, and feeling like I was being beaten up upon, or that my time wasn't being respected, and um, a deep sense of kind of maybe hopelessness, that we're just never going to get out of this. We're always going to be in this mode, and we're never going to finalize our divorce, and just feeling kind of very stuck, and that this was holding me back in my life, and things like that. On the work front, there was definitely a deep fear, multiple levels of fear. So there was a fear that I would never get a higher earning job as what I had before again. So there was a fear that I would, this was kind of all downhill from here. And there was also a fear that I would not be able to have the job of my dreams, or to really be fully realizing my kind of potential, because again, I was on this kind of downward slide because I'd been laid off from my previous job, and it was just um, a really bad situation around work. I just felt like I was trying to claw my way back, and it was not a powerful kind of mindset that I had around work and career.
Mhm.
It's a really fascinating process, because I think that me of a year ago or 2 years ago would be utterly terrified by my current situation. Like, you're trying to do what? I think that definitely it's brought a lot of clarity. Like, there's a lot to say there. I think that examining the underlying and unpacking the underlying causes and the underlying motivations and pattern behaviors, and intrinsic beliefs behind some of these kind of negative thought cycles, and this kind of experience of feeling disempowered, and experience of whether it's fear or hopelessness or other kind of emotions surrounding both the work as well as the kind of marital issues, has been really kind of very helpful. Like, I always find that between the two of you, that there's some either personal anecdote, personal kind of experience, um, or some resource, like some book or meditation practice or writing exercise, that you're able to bring to bear on helping to work through some of these problems, whether they're limiting beliefs or whether they're pattern behaviors or what have you. I do feel like the two of you working together has been a really wonderful experience, just to kind of um, contrast the different guidance that you give. With Dalia, just the fact that she's been through a difficult divorce and made it through has been immensely helpful, to just kind of share experiences, and to just hear what she had to go through, and how she coped, and how she kind of moved through that difficult process,
Mhm.
has been hugely inspiring and kind of beneficial to have that positive reference point. Um, and I think in Jason's case, definitely the deep experience with Tantra, and that perspective of bringing the spiritual and bringing these teachings into um, these everyday life challenges has been really super valuable. Because it's one thing to kind of do the practices and do your meditation every day and do the breath work, but if you can't link that practice into your everyday problems, then you're not getting the full benefit of those practices. And so, just he embodies that. Obviously, that's something that he's brought into his life, and transformed his life with. And so the knowledge that I'm working with someone and just feeling that deep level of experience and knowing that these practices really do help and are able to be deployed and applied to real life challenging problems has been super valuable. My meditation practices really took off, like really seriously took off, because I just see the value. And it's really, I'd always struggled with having a consistent meditation practice. And I think it really took a couple of sessions of talking about that. Like, why? Why am I struggling? And what are the underlying causes of that? And how does it serve me to not do them? And we just had some really deep conversations around that. And once I really kind of understood what I was getting out of not meditating, despite knowing the benefits, I was able to move past that. Like the lesson was learned, and I was able to move past that to the point where I'm now regularly meditating. And like an hour a day is not that we should materialize things and compare numbers and all that, but I'm meditating an hour a day, and it's not a big deal. It's just like kind of an extended version of brushing my teeth, which is kind of the way it should be. Just it's kind of like breathing. It is breathing. So that's been, I mean, what more transformation could you ask for, really? Ultimately, is putting in place a really solid framework for spiritual growth. That's what life's all about, and that's what that's the transformation I've realized through working with Dalia and Jason. Coaching is about interpreting and understanding the deep causes of the difficulties we face in life and the challenges, whether it's career or relationships or any number of different challenges, health. There's always underlying causes that are not obvious to us. So a lot of these self-help books are about recognizing that we have these kind of self-defeating behaviors and recognizing that we're doing these things that undermine ourselves, right? That undermine our relationships. We have these limiting beliefs and all that. But I think sometimes it's hard to really, truly get that, to really, truly sort of unpack that and understand it and move beyond it without a really good coach to help you to your specific case, because the book is a sort of a general case. So I think to me, the essence of being a really great coach is taking someone's individual story and individual behaviors and challenges and patterns and helping them understand the root causes of those problems. And I really feel like Jason and Dalia bring this very well-rounded approach to this, where there are certain, whether it's certain books to read or certain mental models around pattern behavior, the drama triangle, things like that. And I just find that every single session we have, there's some new kind of insight or some new empowering way of looking at things that help me understand, like, because we're talking in my case of 20 plus years of patterned negative behavior, patterned self-defeating negative communication patterns. And it's deep, it's something that reading a book is not going to sort of help you alone, is not going to help you transcend. So in addition to a regular spiritual practice, just having two really well-resourced and experienced individuals to talk to that have insights, that can give you insights every week to examine this deep-seated problem in different ways. So you get to understand it from different perspectives and get to try out different experiments to chip away at it. Try a different way of communicating. Try to write down, take some homework to go write down your feelings about this, whether it's your difficult relationship or whether it's your career goals. And I would also say that during the course of my time being coached by Dalia and Jason, my career has really sort of transformed and taken off. And this is due to a multitude of factors, but a lot of it was overcoming some limiting beliefs, unnecessary beliefs around not being able to do this, or not having the experience or the confidence or the ability to actually execute on this new dream that I have for myself and for the world. And somehow over the last 6 months, that's completely transformed to the point where I couldn't even imagine doing the things that I'm doing now and feeling the way I do when I'm working on a day-to-day basis, the level of creativity and engagement and motivation and passion and all of it is just beyond anything I experienced in the past. And I think a lot of that is just really picking away at these kind of limiting beliefs and behaviors and injecting new ways of thinking, and lifting myself up as a result.